Welcome to the Lads AM podcast, a show for those late night ramblings you only get when the rest of the world is asleep. This show is available in both podcast and Let's Play form. Check out our social media to find out how to listen the way you want to. Tonight, we are playing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I think. I don't know, Rob picked it.
Because I find that if I have it output on the monitor, then the audio completely will desync from the game by a few seconds.
Okay, that's fine then.
So yeah, you guys will probably just have to watch it mute.
You know what? Okay, Dustin, here's what we'll do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We'll ADR in the sounds. We'll make them ourselves.
You want us to do
Okay.
Foley for the SpongeBob battle?
So you do like the world, and I'll do SpongeBob.
Yeah, that
Boy,
makes
Boy,
sounds-
this is going to be quite the
That's
podcast.
excellent
It's
for a
about the
podcast.
podcast, not the game.
Yeah. No, watch the YouTube video.
It's still not gonna be. It's just two people making noises. Barbara's somehow going to do commentary over that.
But if they're watching the video, they'll be able to
What?
hear. They'll be like if he jumps, I'll go boink,
I thought I was. I don't know.
boink. No, and then you would, for those wood panels coming out, you would go like boom, boink.
By the way, my
Boink,
plan
boink.
is basically just to do as many glitches
Boink,
during
boink.
this game as possible and
boink.
explain absolutely none of them.
I'm realizing that all I really have to do
Gameplay.
is boink. So
Boink.
so maybe we don't do that.
Do we want to talk about the revelation that, not revelation, but the thing Matt discovered earlier this week that led us to playing this game?
I
Oh,
guess-
you mean?
Does
Oh,
Robert
you
really
mean?
want to talk about it now?
Oh, you mean the turtle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we need a boy. I've already unpacked a little bit about
for
this,
all
but
you-
talk first.
For all you '90s kids and technically '90s kids like us, born the '98s and the '99s,
90s babies we are.
'90s babies, yeah. And anyone around there,
Oh,
anyone who
late
grew up with
90s is still
SpongeBob,
90s.
you're not gonna like what I'm about to tell you. Unless you've been actively keeping up with the SpongeBob anime, you're not gonna like what I'm telling you. So Patrick, that right over there, you see that? The Patrick's
Sorry, I missed
rock.
Yeah.
Patrick's rock. That's not a rock. It's canonically been confirmed by the anime, and I'm calling it the anime.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
It is
anime.
accurate. It is an anime.
It is anime.
I mean,
Patrick's
I
rock
guess.
is not a rock. In one of the newer SpongeBob episodes, the plot is that the turtle, because it's actually a turtle shell, the turtle that has been asleep for forever, apparently, like 50 years or something, is Patrick's rock. And it is currently inside the rock. And why we think it's a rock is because like crud and like muck has attached itself to the side. And I'm assuming Patrick put the arrow on top or whatever that thing is.
I think it's supposed to be like a TV satellite.
Maybe he does have a TV in there.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for.
Something like that. But during the episode, the guy, really Italian turtle man, who I didn't show you guys in the clip because I found an extended clip somewhere else. But he fell asleep, but where he was supposed to be going is the beach to see like some like fine lady turtles.
Yeah.
And he gets there and they're like, we've been waiting. And the whole bit is that like it's been like 50 years, but since turtles live so long that they were like waiting for like 50 years or something for him to show up.
Please tell me that the joke isn't then that they've been 50 years and now they're old and not as pretty as he hoped.
No. They're old. They're just as old as he is. And he's like, damn, ladies, you fine.
I see.
Yeah, no, that's where it goes
Okay.
after the fact. But that's not what's important. What's important is that they just think that whoever they think that they have the right, they have the audacity to just change the SpongeBob anime canon that this has been a rock the whole time, or that we think it's a rock the whole time, but it's just been a turtle.
Steven
I had this-
Hillenburg dies and suddenly a rock's a turtle.
Exactly.
Crazy world we live
He
in.
never would have let this happen.
I had to I wanted to ask you this, but I wanted to save this question for the podcast. Do you know how that episode ends?
I have
Like,
not
'cause
watched-
SpongeBob episodes do not follow a continuity. They are very much the the world is reset at the end of the episode so that you can watch
yeah.
any
That's
episode.
not a-
So, like, how does this become Patrick's house again?
I'm not sure. I haven't finished the episode, but I know at some point they are both homeless and they're crying and holding each other, embracing each other because they're both homeless. So my guess is that they were fighting over it, and then them fighting over it turns into them both
They
losing it.
broke the rock or something.
Because I think that's the lesson they're supposed to learn.
I see.
Because because I definitely learned all of my life lessons from watching SpongeBob.
Oh, of course, of course. So
All
you
of
know
my
all of them.
my morals and all of my just general common sense comes from watching SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah, thanks, man. The classic example of people being like, when I was a kid, I thought I was SpongeBob, and now I'm older and I feel like Squidward.
Yeah.
And my whole life is being ruined by filthy capitalists, aka Mr. Krabs. That's the part that I added that part in.
Mhm. Not to talk about the game, but anyone who knows about this game and is wondering what's going on, yeah, this is not going to be a normal playthrough.
I wouldn't want it to be.
we
Do you guys know? Do you guys know? about
basically
Santa
just
Claus?
skipped a third of the game.
Oh, wait, hey, wait a minute! This is a 2-hour podcast, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't keep skipping half
Well,
that.
no,
You can't be skipping a third of the
no,
game.
no. So there's 9 levels, and at the beginning you're only supposed to access the first 3. But in
Okay.
order to beat the game, we need 75 of the spatulas. So we're going to be going back to those earlier levels.
Okay, cool.
So we're just doing things more out of order, not like fully skipping things.
And make sure to watch if you want the SpongeBob gameplay tutorial walkthrough.
Yeah, because we're gonna actually skip this hub as well and just go straight to the last hub for now.
Do you know that there's like 3 SpongeBob shows now?
What?
Wait,
do you
let me
mean?
think here. I know of 2. So there's normal SpongeBob and there's Camp Coral.
Yes. There's
What's
also
the-
the Patrick Star show.
What?
Yes, I have heard that.
Wait, Patrick has his own show now?
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
No.
See, the Camp Coral one was a new one for me. I heard about Patrick Star show because like 2 years ago I think it started or something.
I know about Camp Coral because it's on Paramount Plus, which is where I watch Survivor. And there were ads for that everywhere.
Because I just saw my sister was like just watching it the other day and it was like a commercial for like some big mashup episode of SpongeBob, the Patrick Show, and Camp Coral. And I was like, what's
Max.
Camp Coral?
So Camp Coral is
What? Can I guess?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I have a couple of guesses.
You probably are going to be right, but go for
All
it.
right. No, I don't. Okay, wait. Camp Coral. I'm trying to think of. Does SpongeBob run a summer camp?
Nope.
Is it like it? So okay, so a bunch of characters from the SpongeBob canon are put into an island and they have to survive. And every episode they do a challenge
Nope.
between the two teams, and then with the team that wins
That's
is safe from
Turtle Drum Island.
is safe from immunity. No, well, okay, but we change it up. So at the end of it, they all walk into the council, and they all have torches, right? Because fire works underwater.
Because fire represents your life.
And then Fish Jeff Probst comes out and is like, in this game, fire represents your time in the game, because they probably can't say life in a kids show. And then they all vote someone out, and then they go, and then they walk into the darkness, probably to be shot.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Robert,
No.
what's Camp Coral?
Yeah,
All
what is
right.
it?
So you guys are gonna lose your shit over this. All right, you ready?
I don't
So
want any
Camp-
shit after this.
So Camp Coral is supposed to be a prequel to the SpongeBob show,
What?
where all of the characters are like younger kids, and they are attending a summer camp. Now,
No.
the
They have a
biggest
chibi version of SpongeBob. They're doing
No.
SpongeBob chibi.
They're doing
Now,
chibi. Dude, it is Total
you-
Drama Island because Total Drama Island has the kids show.
Now, you might be wondering, Rob, how can this possibly be worse? You ready
Rob,
for
how can this be?
Yeah, let's hear it.
What is the fact of the matter is that the Camp Coral show directly contradicts one of the most established pieces of lore in the main show. In that, in season 1, episode 2 of the main show, we watched SpongeBob meet Sandy. But Sandy's at Camp Coral with SpongeBob.
Oh my god, this is an anime
So is
plot.
Squidward and
This
Mr.
isn't-
Krabs.
This is
And
an
I
anime
think
plot.
Plankton. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense in terms of continuity. So I always just was like, whatever, it's an alternate universe, whatever. But if they're doing a crossover, now I'm really confused.
Yo, SpongeBob and Patrick partners in time. They're gonna have to go on a journey while carrying their younger
Oh.
selves on their back,
Oh, did I went to the bridge?
like Mario and Luigi, but instead they have to go through an RPG. That's the crossover,
I don't know.
It is weird.
dude. That's insane.
Yeah, it's really just straight up doing the chibi from SpongeBob.
Yeah. Also, the art style. Oh, and that's the better part. The art style of the show
Wait.
is ugly CGI.
Oh, gross. Wait, was it called Camp Coral? I need to see it.
Yeah. At least I'm
Camp.
pretty sure it's considered CGI.
Camp.
You would know way better than me. Oh, it's all
Camp.
with K's. It's all with K's,
Yeah,
by
K's.
the way.
Oh, they're getting close.
Ugh.
They're getting close. Make sure we keep the K's in even numbers. Ah! Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
I
It really
hate-
does look like a knockoff, like SpongeBob game instead of a show.
Yeah, this looks like straight to Nintendo DS video game. Fucking. Oh, that's gross, dude. SpongeBob's under years instead of.
Yeah, I don't.
That's insane. I thought it was gonna be like Camp Lazlo.
No. How,
Is that
no.
Larry?
Probably.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Every
Wait a
character,
minute.
every character you can think of in the main show
Okay.
probably
Bubble
appears.
Bass there.
Oh yeah, that is Bubble Bath. Oh my god.
Matt, I just thought of something I need to know. So I know Mr. Krabs is in this because I think he's the one who like runs the camp or something. But is Pearl in this show? I need to know because
Well, there's no way because this is supposed to be
Matt,
young.
there's no.
Oh, it looks like it. Looks like Pearl's there. She's a little baby.
Oh my! She has to legitimately be like a fetus. What?
I don't know.
Like how old is like? That's a good point. Quick question. Oh my god, you're right. She is a baby.
Little baby.
Oh god, I don't like this. That'd be so funny to have as a profile picture. Okay, wait a minute. I have a serious question, right?
Yeah.
How there's that one episode where SpongeBob goes to prom with Pearl, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How so that means that makes Pearl somewhere in the range of like 17 to 18, right?
Yeah, she's a teenager.
How old is SpongeBob?
Late 30s.
There's
And
no
I'm
way.
not joking. It's confirmed he's like in his late 30s.
There's
I-
no way they let a 30-year-old man into a high school prom.
Whoa.
Children.
Let's. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. No, I'm not. Gonna say
That's insane. I'm calling out the Bikini Bottom School Board. You're putting your students at risk.
Yeah.
That's insane.
They wouldn't let 19-year-olds at our prom.
Oh yeah, they were like hardcore about that. That's not okay.
Well, Matt, you don't understand. You see, SpongeBob is both 11 and 37. It depends on what benefits the writers at that.
Oh, you mean like how there are Pokemon characters where their anime canonical ages are like 11 or 19, based if you're in the United States or not?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Japan. Yes, I blame Japan for this, honestly.
Here's the thing. SpongeBob's not a Japanese show.
No, I blame Japan for everything. I think
Fair.
they're just. I think
And yet
they're
that's
just
where
at
you
fault.
want to move to.
I don't. I've thought about it. I don't want to move to Japan. They don't like. They don't like foreigners there.
Yeah, they don't like foreigners.
It's like incredibly hard.
So what do
to
you
like
want? Do you
get
want to travel to Japan, or are we just done with Japan?
I'm not done with Japan. I'm going and
We
buying
gotta
all the
do it.
weeb shit I
Sure.
can.
Oh, okay.
I have not bought any like hugely degenerate weeb shit, and I have decided that I am going to wait until I go to Japan, and I am going to buy the lewdest, most degenerate shit I can find.
Can I counter that with a point?
What?
If you buy that in Japan, you know with certainty that the airport security, if they check your bag, they're gonna see that.
Do you think any airport security hasn't seen that already?
No, but I know you, Matt, and I know that would make you uncomfortable.
I'm gonna look at them. No, I'm not gonna do that.
yeah, because you would be too uncomfortable.
No, I was gonna say that if they gave me a weird look, I'd be like, "Yo, at least it's not a bomb, right?"
No, don't do that. Yeah, no, don't do that.
But now you can't say that. You can't even make that joke in an
No.
airport.
Yeah, that is a no-no joke.
Oh, imagine if I did that.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Now explain to me does the Patrick show.
Patrick has his own show.
Now
I
they
read
looked
where
at
that finally happened because I feel like I've been hearing about that supposed to be happening since like 2012.
so they looked at Planet Sheen
Mhm.
and was like, that did phenomenally. Let us now do it with our golden money printing IP that has kept us afloat for generations.
Has Nickelodeon done a single spinoff that was successful like that? Because they've done more than just Planet Sheen, I'm pretty sure.
But Planet Sheen's the most egregious one that I can think of.
It's
what
about Sam and Cat? That one's pretty bad.
Dude, Sam. Well, the concept of Sam and Cat is kind of crazy once you learn some of the deep lore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can look up Nickelodeon. I like this. Just watching Rob play a game, and I can be Jamie.
Oh,
crazy how we're already back to talking about a children's show.
You're right.
Well, we are playing a children's show.
We do that, but
plus, Jamie is the producer person for Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh, okay.
And whenever he wants him to look something up, he goes, "Jamie, look that up."
Yo, Jamie, pull that up.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Okay.
I can be Jamie.
You know, pull it up, Matt.
Dude, the Amanda Show is technically a spinoff.
Well, yes and no. So,
well, look, I'm not going to argue.
Because with that logic, Drake and Josh is a spinoff.
Literally, it says it right here. Drake and Josh, spinoff from the Amanda Show. Amanda Show, spinoff from all that.
But here's the issue.
Kenan and Kel, also a spinoff from all that.
Here's the issue, though. They're not spinoffs. Basically, what it is they take one of the side actors from their current successful show and then make a brand new show just with that actor. That doesn't make it a spinoff.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was. Like, that's not
so all that had, like, the actor from, like, the Amanda Show, Amanda Bynes. So they made her own show.
Hey.
And then there was a skit that was really good with the Amanda Show that had the actors for Drake and Josh in it. So they made the Drake and Josh show.
Hey.
That had Carly. That had whatever her name is. I'm blanking.
Miranda Cosgrove.
Miranda Cosgrove in it. So which goes to iCarly.
Which goes to the machine.
Victorious.
Which
Well,
wait.
It doesn't go to Victorious.
It doesn't go to Victorious.
Doesn't go to Victorious, but Victorious and iCarly go to Sam and Cat, and there's another show.
Victorious, I think you're thinking Zoe 101. Is that close enough in time? Is that close enough in time? No. Is it too far? Am I just
no? Well, I know you know what Victorious is. Victorious was Nickelodeon's answer to Hannah Montana, is what it was.
True.
Probably. Well, even then, I think
it definitely was. By the time they've actually talked about it. And it's really funny because what Nintendo what Nickelodeon wanted was they saw how successful the Hannah Montana show was and then how successful Miley Cyrus became. So they said we should do the exact same thing, and they decided to make their star oh, what's her name? The head girl of Victorious.
Christ.
Victoria Justice?
Yes.
There we go. Yeah.
And the irony is that Victoria Justice had some success, but not nearly as success as the side character.
Ariana Grande, yeah.
Ariana Grande.
I did watch, there was this one guy, I don't remember the channel, but he did make he made a whole video about the actor to pop star pipeline.
Yeah.
In for Disney. And I'm like, that's super interesting. And then after watching that video, I was immediately recommended their video on how Disney did it right and Nickelodeon seemed to constantly fuck it up. And not be able to produce the same level of success that Disney did. And I'm watching it. I'm like, this is the most interesting. This is one of the most interesting things I've ever learned or had to hear about. And then
Disney really do it successfully?
Yeah.
I mean, Miley Cyrus, became a musician and also kind of deranged a little.
Well, but she was growing up.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, it's successful.
Or am I thinking that maybe I said it the wrong way around? But basically, it was one seems to be able to do it really well. But it was. Oh, I think. I think I said it backwards. Whatever Ariana Grande was.
Ariana Grande, she's a talented musician and genuinely still a good person.
Yeah. How Nickelodeon did it. How Nickelodeon did it really well, and how Disney seemed to fuck it up. But Disney, because Disney is High School Musical, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Disney has gotten it seemingly down, or they got really lucky. And I didn't know this, but not even High School Musical, but the show, High School Musical, the musical or whatever.
What is that show?
Olivia Rodrigo was in that.
Oh, she was in that.
Yeah, and she's really popped, and she popped off.
Yeah,
she did really well. So now it's did Nickelodeon Disney? Did Disney finally crack the code on how to do it, or did they just get
a while?
Or did they get really lucky with Olivia Rodrigo? But I had no idea that she was in that. I had no idea that was in the show, and that was one of the main things I took away.
I thought she was a TikToker or something.
Completely off topic, real quick. Who's Olivia Rodrigo?
Oh my god, dude! I'm not even.
How does so odd you somehow have opinions on Ariana Grande and Miley Cyrus that entire time? I was like, who are you to say? What are you?
I know a tiny bit about them, at least.
Rob,
but you're know enough to call Miley Cyrus deranged and Ariana Grande a nice person. What are you talking about? I'm not listening to you.
Can you name?
The news loves giving horrible reports on people.
Yeah.
And I have not heard any such report about Ariana Grande, which leads me to
you're not listening.
Can you name one Ariana Grande song? or at least a smidgen of a lyric.
No way. My head will explode if you can come up with something. Zero hyperbole.
Boy, let me get back to. I need to focus on the game real quick.
Oh yeah, okay,
Okay.
buddy.
I do find it funny that apparently they said that they wanted to make a show the exact same as Hannah Montana and made Victorious, despite the fact there's zero similarities at all.
Except that they're
Well,
singers in it.
Well,
Yeah, they're singing, and the main character's a woman.
No. No. So it wasn't the point that they wanted the shows to be the same. I think what it more was that
They wanted to cash in on that.
they wanted to create a musician who was a very
Right.
popular artist who came from Nickelodeon.
They wanted that pop star money.
Right. So it was less the TV show they wanted to copy and more the success of Hannah Montana financially.
Sure.
Okay,
That makes
two
more
things.
sense.
Two things.
And
One,
also, I'm not going to be able to come up with an Ariana Grande song.
in regards to the spin-off debacle.
Yes.
I'm going based off of, if you want to argue with the contributors to the Nickelodeon fandom wiki, you can do that.
I will.
Send them a
I'll go
strongly
ahead and
worded email.
say this right now and trigger probably several more people.
Hey,
Most fan wikis are
Watch this.
badly done.
fandom Nickelodeon fandom wiki moderators, I know you're listening.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
just
spin
like
off
our-
this morons.
Just like our guests, yeah.
Rob will fight you.
Two shows
Dude,
having the
I
same
will-
actor doesn't make it a spin-off of each other.
I will fist fight you in a parking lot. Name the parking lot. I'll be there.
Yeah, let's go. That also, about Victorious. I have something to say about Victorious. Something that really grinds my gears about Victorious.
Oh boy.
a little
Yep,
bit of
let's
a
hear
little
it.
bit of a bad take. A lot of people like to pass off as them being like based and cool
Okay,
and
I'm
knowing what they're
excited to
talking
hear what you're
about.
gonna say. Go on.
Everyone likes to harp on the fact that Victorious is not the most that Victoria Justice is not the most talented singer in Victorious.
Yeah.
They like to be like they like to just be evil about it. They like to talk. She's like, how is she the main character when she sucks? And you have Ariana Grande and what's your name? The one that plays Jade. Oh God.
I don't know.
I
her
don't
real name.
remember her name.
Oh,
Was that? No.
I'm in love with her, and I forgot her name. It's
Oh
like
my God.
it's like Katie Gillis or something, right?
There we
Like
go. Yep.
Kate,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. Everyone likes to be like Victorious is the worst singer on the show, and everyone is regurgitating the same opinion that they heard once, and they like to think that they're cool about it. And it's not that they're wrong, but it's like, what do you expect? She's a child. She's an actress that's like singing, and both the person that played person that played Jade, Catherine Gillis or something like that. I forget her name. Her and Ariana Grande both come from like Broadway,
Right.
right? And like everyone else on that show had like really big like some sort of theater or performing background. Like
Mhm.
obviously they're more talented. Obviously. And you know what? Maybe there's something to that. Maybe it's like you don't want to put the most talented person as the lead to like make it more like believable. The whole point was that she didn't even want to go to that school in the first place. The first episode, the only reason that she gets even invited into the school is because she has to take over for her sister, because her sister is like incapacitated for some reason. I know because I watched the whole show through like a couple of years ago when it came out on Netflix.
Mhm.
So I'm well versed in the lore.
Oh, I am as
But-
well. I have responses to you.
But I'm just saying that
By
people
the way,
need to.
we're under the turtle.
Oh, don't even get me started again. I'll bring it back. But I'm just upset. I just hate when I see that people having that take because
Yeah.
you're not unique. You're not saying anything everyone doesn't already know, and your point means nothing. It has nothing to do with the show. In fact, it makes more sense in the show that she's not the most talented person, that she's a person with apparently like natural. Because the plot of the show is that like yeah, she has like natural talent, but she has to like learn how to turn that into actual like skill. So obviously she's not the most goated singer on the show, but everyone likes to like shit on her for no reason.
All right. I'm about 80 to 90% agree with you.
Oh god.
Mostly agree with you.
Okay.
I think people do unnecessarily shit on Victoria Justice over this. And the only thing I'm going to say, this is the only thing I'm going to add to that, is consider the fact that the show, as we said, literally entirely made just so Nickelodeon could get a pop star from their show and make them be successful, right?
Yeah.
Ariana Grande sings, I believe, a total of 2 songs in the entire show.
Yeah.
She is successful despite being on the show. That's not the best look for Nickelodeon.
How does this?
She sings 2 songs, by the way.
What?
Like by on herself, or what do you mean by she only sings 2
Oh,
songs?
she's just never sing. Nickelodeon never has her sing on the show.
That's not true.
There's no way.
It's actually rare that she sings solo on. I mean, solo.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay, solo, sure.
But again, even when it's like multiple of them singing, they make Victoria Justice make sure that she's the loudest voice you hear.
Yeah, because she's the main character. That makes a lot of
so
sense.
all people are saying is, man, Nickelodeon probably wishes that they made Ariana Grande the main character.
Honestly, I mean, maybe not.
Why do you say that?
I mean, I don't actually. Did Ariana Grande not become super pop? Was it way after the show she became popular? Maybe.
It was like.
Did she have anything to? I'm wondering if like her like massive success, if Nickelodeon has gotten anything from that. Because if they haven't, then that makes sense. But if they are profiting, if they in some way profit off of Ariana Grande's success, they probably, it might be like a, don't go back in time.
Do you want to know the way that they profited off of Ariana Grande's success?
Sure.
With the horrible show of Sam and Cat.
Probably, yeah.
And again, in that show, they don't have her sing.
Well, yeah, well, that's not what the show's about. Also, wait, one sec. Was Cats? Well, why would they? That's not what she does in the show. They're like babysitters or something.
Right. But then, like, it's just a weird situation. And that's why that's part of the reason why the show lasted as little as it did. Is because Ariana Grande was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go full-time music.
I'm wondering what was her shtick? Was her shtick singing in the show?
Her shtick, she didn't exactly have one, is the thing. I think her shtick was half singing, half makeup.
Singing, acting, costume design, juggling, tap dancing.
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
wait,
okay.
What are you saying right now?
Cat.
Oh, okay.
What? Because like everyone had like their.
Also, they made the most talented singer in Ariana Grande. Her character's an infant.
Yeah, they did. Her character's not the best.
Like,
they were very stupid.
Yeah, she's talked about how she didn't like that.
The first season, it's fine, the character, but then they dumb her down, kind of like in a way that they did Patrick, where like early SpongeBob Patrick, not to bring a full circle, but early SpongeBob Patrick was dumb, but like
Yeah, no,
only
it's
like slightly below average.
it's a common.
And then
it's,
by
it's
like season 5 or 6, he has the mentality of a toddler.
yeah,
It's
no,
that flanderization thing, right?
what?
It's that flanderization.
Yeah,
When they make a character have like certain characteristics, and as the show goes on, they make that their sole characteristic.
I'm
yeah,
just
and then
guessing
you
that's
really,
based off of the Simpsons character.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, no, it's a pretty common thing that happens, and I think
yeah,
I think
stop
part
on
of it,
in a minute.
and I don't really, I mean, I can't explain why it happens, but it feels like one of those things that
Oh,
everyone seems to know except for the suits that control what happens in the shows. Like the
Right.
executives that don't actually know anything about writing or production at all. But it's a pretty common thing that happens with a lot of characters, especially those that have like, and in Sam and Cat, it's worse. I tried to watch Sam and Cat after I watched Victorious. I couldn't.
I did as
It was
well.
it was so stupid.
quickly stopped.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, because I don't know if maybe because maybe Nickelodeon, Disney. Fuck, I keep getting them mixed up.
At least you're not
Disney.
saying Nintendo like me.
Nintendo. I really think Activision. I think Activision Blizzard
Activision,
really wishes that they did a little bit a better job with Ariana Grande's character.
Dude, I'm just saying, Blizzard
Dude.
dropped the ball.
Dude, Ariana Grande's in Fortnite. Let's get Hannah Montana in Overwatch. That's what I'm saying.
Hannah Montana in Overwatch.
No,
Oh.
and oh wait,
So
no.
would Hannah Montana be a tank or?
Oh wait, no, she is. She's already in Overwatch. We already have Wrecking Ball.
Wow.
Nice. It took me a little bit, but that's a good one.
You know,
It's like, did you just call her a hamster? Oh, wait a minute.
Did I just call her a
That's
hamster?
not Hannah Montana. That's Miley Cyrus.
Oh my!
You
You know, Rob, I'm gonna blow your mind, right? Okay, I'm gonna blow.
I have a movie you might want
mind.
to watch.
I'm gonna blow your fucking mind, Rob. Okay?
Yeah.
Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus are the same person.
What? No
They're the
way!
same. She just wears a wig.
Alright, I'm not that dumb, boy.
She just wears.
Boy, I may be
Damn.
stupid. Yeah, I may be stupid. I have absolutely nothing to add.
I was gonna correct something I said earlier real quick. I said Ariana Grande got really popular during Victorious. She dropped her first album after Victorious ended. Like the
Yeah,
same year,
no, it was like
So
after the
maybe
show.
they did wish they had known that she was
Yeah.
gonna be more.
Mean, yeah, it's one of those things where like, and going back to what you were saying, if anyone out there is like, Nickelodeon dropped the ball, the answer is no, they absolutely did not drop the ball. The answer is, in hindsight, yeah, it would have been better, but how could they have known?
Yeah, because they already
there
had.
was no way of knowing.
Yeah, because they already had Victoria Justice from Zoe 101.
Right, exactly.
So she was already in the Disney cabal or whatever. Nickelodeon.
And not only was she already in the Nickelodeon stuff, but like, and this is again going back to what you were saying, it's not like Victoria Justice is a bad singer.
No, she's really not.
She's a very talented singer. Yeah, she's not as successful as Ariana Grande, but then again, isn't Ariana Grande like among the top 10 best performers of all time at this point or something?
Definitely.
What are you basing that on?
One of the most.
I'm basing that on. I think I heard that somewhere.
Okay.
I guess let's see. Top 10 most. I guess most popular artists. Now, maybe it's a little less.
Yeah, I mean, like, I might be
I just didn't know
wrong.
what 10 best performers meant. Like best selling, best just voice, or best.
Let's see.
I think it was like top grossing.
Let's see. As
top
of
grossing, I can believe that then.
As of.
I mean, it's hard to measure popularity.
This
Yeah,
right
that's why I was
here.
confused.
This right here says May 2022.
Okay.
And she is. Actually, I gotta make sure if these are in order or not. I actually gotta click the link. Are these in order? Yeah, they do seem to be in order.
And what does that say?
She is 10.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah,
yeah, I'm not saying here like she's
and
number
she's
one.
only been
So, like, compare that
getting.
to but I bet I could name so many talented musicians that are not on that list. Like,
Dude, welcome to being a consumer of music and having like music that you like and having like finding like some of the most like talented musicians you've ever heard, and it's like because they're not pop music, they're not like what's currently considered popular music, they'll just never, it's like there's just no way they reach that level of like notoriety or fame or success.
yeah.
Like I'm going down the math rock Midwest emo rabbit hole right now. You'll never see them in like the top 10 Billboard
you're
top 100.
what?
Math rock. You know what math rock is?
Fucking math rock.
Math rock is just rock music with a lot of weird time signatures.
Oh, so like what, like 3-2?
I've no fucking clue, dude. There's just a bunch of like really like ridiculously good math rock guitarists who just do crazy shit. It's really good.
So it's just rock and roll, but like with weird time signatures.
It's just different, like different type of rock music.
Oh, okay.
Like indie rock, and a
Okay.
bunch of different stuff like that. But yeah, it's crazy, and how pop music is just kind of pop music currently is kind of like hip hop, kind of dance club music,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like there is just such a huge world of music that most people like won't hear. That's why when it's like I guess I can only speak for me and Dustin. Yeah, we know the top artists. We know who they are, and we know the music they make. But it's not like
Alright.
we don't listen to them avidly.
Okay, wait. So you have that list. Do you still have that list up?
I do.
What's the name of that list officially? Like top 10.
Who
best
are
perform-
the biggest artists in the world in 2022?
Okay.
Who's the most popular artist in the world right now?
How many of those 10 do you think I could name?
I think maybe just name them and see if they're on the list. Probably not a lot. How many you would recognize? If I said their name out loud, you would probably. How many do I think you would recognize?
How many do you think I could guess on the list?
What? Well, I don't think anyone that you are gonna think of actually just name someone who you think is on this list.
Number one, I feel good about this. Adele.
Adele is not on this list.
Really? All right.
Maybe
fine.
maybe like
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
Well, I mean, she dropped a pretty big album last year.
I guess she was.
It's not just single.
No, it was the year before,
artists,
actually.
right? There are bands as well.
Most of these are single artists. There is a band on here. Number one's actually surprising, which is making me question the validity of this list, but I'm not sure. It might just be new.
All right,
because I do know number one is definitely someone you would know their name, and I know they have been getting a lot more successful, or they've had like their like second popping off. So maybe it makes
read
sense.
off the list. Let's just hear it.
Go from 10 to 1.
10 to 1. Okay, 10. 10 is Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Yep.
9 is Rihanna.
Okay,
Fair.
I probably would have
Okay.
guessed Rihanna.
8 is tell me if you know who this is, Rob. Do you know who Harry Styles is?
Yes, I've heard of Harry
I
Styles.
thought you were going to say Hannah Montana. I was like, what? Huh?
Yes, I'm aware of who Harry Styles is.
Okay. Taylor Swift.
Okay, yeah.
BTS.
Mm-hmm.
BTS.
BTS.
I know that name, but I don't know like much about them.
They're K-pop.
K-pop band.
They're K-pop.
Okay, I know I recognize the name vaguely, but not nearly as much as I recognize the other names.
Yeah. The Weeknd.
Okay, yep, I know them.
Drake.
Okay, yep. So far, these are all names I know.
Ed Sheeran.
Motherfucker, I was about to, so after I guessed Adele, I was thinking about who my next guess would be, and my next guess was probably going to be Ed Sheeran.
Dude, you know what's crazy about Ed Sheeran?
That he did the end song in Pokemon Scarlet
He's in
Violet.
a fucking Pokemon game, dude. That's nutty.
Top two?
Also the first mod
Oh,
ever
yeah.
created for Pokemon
Scarlet Violet.
Scarlet Violet was taking his song out of the end credits, and I think that's
Why?
because people didn't like it.
Dude, I thought it was actually good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Number two, I can be honest. I know who this is. I recognize the name. I've never heard a song of theirs. It's Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah,
I do not know that.
makes
name.
sense.
I know that they're. My experience is I know they're super popular. I know the name. Never heard a song.
Yeah, that being said, all these people where I'm like, yeah, I know that name. Yeah, I know them. Oh, I could not name any of their music.
Number one is Justin Bieber.
What?
And I know he's had like his second popping off. I think he's not as pop as talked about in the media because he's not like being a cringe teenager anymore. I know he's on the rise.
Yeah, that's a weird list.
That top
Let's
two is
see.
questionable.
Let's
man.
see.
Robert, can I ask you something?
You can always ask me something.
Who's The
Dustin.
Weeknd?
Who?
Yeah.
I know it's a band.
No, it's not.
What?
The Weeknd's one guy.
Wait, what?
The Weeknd's one guy. I knew you thought they were a band. You're like, oh, I know them. I was like, them?
Well,
I don't think you're being non-binary right now. I think you think they're a band.
When I say I know them or I know that person, I mean I have heard that name. That sort of rings a bell. I know. Like I said, I don't know anything of their music. I don't even know if I can tell you what genre of music some of them play.
Yeah, I figured. I just wanted to make sure because I found out they said I know them to The Weeknd, so I was like, does he know he's a solo? He's just one guy.
I also just use they them in general more nowadays, just because of me streaming and dealing with pronouns on something like that.
Meeting a lot of
crazy.
people that you don't know and you can't tell inherently from their username.
Exactly. So
yeah, no, I've adopted a similar. I
especially because recently, I don't know what it is, but recently I feel like I've been gaining a lot more female followers, and I don't quite understand why.
Dude, it's the Rob the Gamer Riz. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure, totally.
Top overall artist in 2022 for the whole year, Justin Bieber's 4th. So he's definitely up there.
Okay.
Although
who's number one? Ed Sheeran?
Doja Cat.
Yeah.
I love Doja Cat.
She's great.
She's great.
Woman. Let me
Who?
be a woman.
Again, who?
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
Don't know.
Number one artist of 2022.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep saying Doja.
in my 2022.
She's a singer.
Did you ever see the no, it's a group. Let's convince them.
It's a band.
Let's convince them that it's a whole cat called Doja Cat. Did you ever see? Did you ever see the? I think it was like a TikTok or something, but it's the format is someone saying, "Can you name all 59 women?" And it's supposed to be like all 59 women in like some group or whatever.
Mhm.
But they cut it off right after that. So it's like, "Can you name all 59 women?"
Yes.
And the guy is like, "Oh shit! I didn't know there were that many of them."
Yes, I have seen
and he's
that
like,
meme.
Michelle Obama, Doja Cat. And I'm like, yeah, those are the two most. Yeah, there we go. That's all you need to know.
Not to break the conversation too much,
Mhm.
but as of 13 minutes ago, breaking news: McCarthy loses 14th round of votes.
No.
Yeah, this time specifically because of Matt Gaetz, apparently.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
Matt Gaetz was the
dude.
one deciding vote, and they started yelling at each other about it.
Oh my god.
What's the
I love this so much.
Dude, what's the
14 times.
That's wait. So I'm not super caught up with the lore.
Christ.
All right, let me explain because I've
I know
done
what's-
my
I know-
research. into
I
this.
know what's going on. I don't know necessarily the names because I know there's the one Democrat guy that has gotten the same amount of votes every single time.
Alright, so
Yes.
here, let me explain everything from the beginning for people who don't understand. Okay.
Non-Americans, listen up. I've checked our analytics. There's at least one person from the UK. That's a total
All
lie.
right.
But
So
moving
here-
on.
all right. So like
In it.
in
Hit it, bro.
the United States, our legislative branch is made up of two places: the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Dude, he's going Schoolhouse
When-
Rock on this.
I've had to explain this to middle schoolers.
Yeah, understandable.
So, in the House of Representatives, after an election, the very first thing they have to do is vote on who the Speaker of the House is. And that's basically just whoever's in charge of the body. Now, the normal way that this happens is very simple. There are two political parties in the United States. One party votes for one guy, one party votes for another guy. Whichever party is more people, hey, they choose the Speaker. That's how it goes 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the issue is that the Republicans currently have the majority, and their majority is kind of close. It's like within, I think, 6 votes.
Something like that, yeah.
And 20 different Republicans got together and said, hey, we don't want Kevin McCarthy as our speaker unless our demands are met. These 20 Republicans are pretty much the far right Republicans.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was.
It's
understanding.
the 20 that you probably know, Matt. Like,
Yeah,
Matt
so
Gaetz,
it's like
Lauren Boebert,
Matt Gates. Notably, I think Lauren Boebert's not one of them, I think.
is she? You sure?
Actually, no, she actually is. She is, yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, it's like the Republicans you would think of.
Lauren Boebert's named the reason Donald Trump was getting votes.
Yes. So hang on, I'm gonna get to that, okay?
Wait, he can be voted.
I'm gonna get to that.
What?
So, hang on, let me explain.
Okay.
So the 20 of them vote for a third person. In order for a speaker to be chosen, it has to be a full majority, not a plurality.
Mhm.
If it was a plurality vote, the Democrats would have chosen the speaker.
Yeah.
But no candidate had a majority, so instead, it goes to a revote. And it just keeps going to a revote until the situation is fixed. Now, the Republicans basically have two options. Neither of which are good options for them at this point. Option one for them is, we concede, we go with what the radical Republicans want. And that's a bad choice for them for a couple of reasons. The biggest one being that is very likely going to push Republicans away and make it harder for the 2024 election. Additionally, one of the key things that the radical Republicans want, which apparently now he's agreed to, is that a single House member can demand a vote to oust the speaker.
One dude. One person.
It only takes one person to make a vote, which makes me crazy because I just imagine someone like Lauren Boebert just starting every day off with a vote like that just to waste time.
Yeah, that sounds like something they would do.
So that's the first option, and unfortunately, that's probably the option they're going to go with. The second option is for them to go to the Democrats and say, listen, you know we're voting for a Republican. You know there's no shot in hell we're voting for a Democrat speaker. But what would it take to convince you to vote for him as speaker? Just so that we can get a move on.
What,
and the Democrats would get probably good spots on certain committees.
Oh, okay. So
because they
let me.
they kind of tried that
Alright.
second one. They're trying to get some like, what can we do to get you to just not vote, please, so we can still get the majority? And Democrats were just going, you're on your own, bud.
So wait,
Sorry.
so
Well,
let me
so
guess.
here-
There
well,
are
here's the thing.
there are probably a lot of Republicans right now that are like putting the blame on the Democratic Party because
Oh,
they're holding. There must be some people that are
Because-
like blaming Democrats for not
mean,
just going with the
listen,
majority.
Congress is big
Not
enough. There's probably
really.
one guy, like someone.
Yeah, but that's not really a thing.
I'm not saying like people. I'm not saying people voting. I'm saying just general public Republicans.
I have not heard that sentiment at all from anything I've seen.
That's got to be a thing. There's people. They always find a way to
There
blame
are
Democrats.
Probably people, but it's a very, very minority. Now, going forward,
No, Republicans don't like
The-
minorities.
the reason the Republicans don't want to side with the Democrats isn't that the Democrats would get the committee, but it's that they would basically lose all the MAGA Trump voters. And it's becoming... The Republican Party is becoming so divided on Trump that it is actually talked about that if they go even a little more moderate, then they might split into two parties,
Yo, we bringing the Whigs back? Is that what I'm
Which-
hearing?
which would be the first time since like the 1840s that we've had three potentially major parties.
He's rolling out
Which-
the libertarians.
Would be actually insane.
Damn.
Now, that being said, from my understanding, a member of the House is allowed to vote for anyone as House for the Speaker role,
certainly
Sure.
seems like it.
Sarah
but
You're
you
saying?
know, it's I'm guessing that it's implied and not actually stated that you have to vote for a member of the House,
Mhm.
which caused someone to vote for Trump one of the times. Probably because, you know they're not voting for any of the people that matter.
Mhm.
So fuck it, it doesn't matter who I vote for.
Fuck it, we ball. Yeah.
My favorite thing is I saw HuffPost posted an article. It was like Donald Trump just lost another election.
Yo, dude, I've never been more happy to see someone catch. I've never been more happy to see someone catch a stray than Donald Trump
Lose
high
another.
off his NFT craze, just catching a stray from the Huffington Post and being pissed about it.
That's funny.
That's
Yeah.
great.
But yeah,
Shout out.
that's essentially the state of politics. Oh, and now it is now at the point where it's been, you said 14 votes now?
This is the 14th one, yeah.
So
Just
the
happened.
last time that it went this long was, interestingly enough, the year 1856,
Mhm.
which might ring a little bit of a bell as, the years immediately before Civil War.
Well, you see, I'm not a nerd, so I didn't pick up on that.
Okay.
I'm messing with you. Continue.
Rude.
know.
But that being said, and that time, the issue was the party in power was the pro-slavery party. However, most of them acknowledged that the nation was at the brink of civil war. So most of them were like, hey, yeah, we want slavery, but we're okay with, like, new states not having slavery.
Hey, we're cool.
And-
Hey, we
and
like
the
slavery.
minority who were like, absolutely not. New states get slaves.
Hey, we love slavery. Don't get me wrong.
Matt.
We love it, but
Matt.
we're not crazy. That's what they're saying.
Their revote for speaker took 2 months, and it was 144 votes.
Oh god,
Ow.
let's go for it, gamers. World record. We're on world record pace right now.
I mean, he's gaining the far
Yeah,
right.
he's
in this,
getting
so-
closer and closer, and now he's only 1 vote off. Like,
The far right guy.
No, the moderate, the one who should have gotten in the first place, Kevin.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
He's only
cool.
1 vote away from getting it now.
Yeah, he's only 1 vote away, so it's probably going to happen tomorrow.
Okay.
Someone's
I don't know.
gonna
I
get
don't
this.
know. Are they convening tomorrow?
Oh, good point. There might not be.
They might
I don't
not convene again until Monday.
Well, the next time I meant then, the next vote.
Yeah.
I didn't even know until all this happened that the Speaker of the House was voted for. I thought it was just always the House Majority Leader. I didn't realize there was like a vote for it.
Well, So, what do you mean by the House Majority Leader?
Am I saying it wrong? The
Well-
one that's like the one who's in charge of the, like
Well, that's who they're voting on, basically.
The House.
I
they're
mean,
voting on yeah. There's not just a dude, or there's not just a person who is the head of the party.
yeah, because I think you also might be getting a little mixed up with the Senate, because the head of the Senate is called the Senate Majority Leader.
Yeah, isn't that the same thing for the House too?
No,
House Majority
not exactly. So the House, we have been saying, votes on their head,
Yeah.
whereas the head of the Senate, from my understanding, is whichever party has the majority in the Senate. It's whichever member of that party has been serving the longest
Oh, really?
On the Senate.
on the Senate. So, whichever senator has been serving the longest and is a member of the party that has control is the head. Now, that is something I am fairly sure of, but I also could definitely be wrong.
And is that would be Mitch McConnell?
For the Republicans.
No. So he would be the Senate Minority Leader?
I mean previously. He was
Yes,
well, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
However, it's currently a Democrat.
Chuck
What?
Schumer.
Chuck Testa?
Schumer.
Chuck
Testa.
Schumer.
Chuck Testa. Do you guys know
Yeah.
who Chuck Testa is?
No.
Yes, I actually do.
Wow,
It's
deep
the
cut.
taxidermy, right?
You're right. Deep cut. The deep cut reference goes to Rob today.
Yeah. I
Let's
got
go.
one that Dustin didn't.
Back with another realistic mount.
Well, it's funny because you said that name, and I'm like, that sounds kind of familiar.
Nope.
Chuck Test. Nope.
Nope. Chuck Testa again with another realist. There's a bear in my bed.
Yep.
Yeah. Classic meme. Patrick.
Basically, Dustin, it was a shitty commercial made for a taxidermy place
Oh, okay.
that went viral.
Got it. Oh, look at that. He was on Good Mythical Morning.
I
yeah.
I guess.
I think they had like something to do with that commercial, I think.
Yes, they did.
Right and Link.
Yes, they did. They were the ones who made the commercial.
Dude, that used to be a big good
Because that was a whole controversy thing, was people were like, wait a minute, the commercial was made to be bad. And to a certain extent, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But
People lie to you.
it is an actual commercial. He runs an actual taxidermy place. Because I know they did interviews after the fact where they were like, look, the commercial went viral. Did it going viral actually mean an increase in sales? And he was like, slightly, but not too much.
Someone just
taxidermist guy.
Someone
He
What are you expecting?
got
Dude,
when it first came out, though, he got a lot of fan mail, though, which he
Dude.
appreciated.
Someone saw that commercial.
Commercial.
Someone just happened to see that commercial, and then they looked, and then they were like, "Wait a minute, I have a dead animal in my house."
Hey, I could do something with this dog corpse.
What
I never really thought of it until now.
What a convenient timing to see this.
But yeah, the commercial basically, Dustin, was like, yo, there's this weird animal in my yard.
A bear in my bed.
It doesn't belong. And then it just shows him holding a taxidermy. And it's like,
Nope.
Chuck
Testa with another realistic mount. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just goes into like, I make the best taxidermy you would ever ask for. I make everything very realistic. Yeah, and
Matt knows everything about taxidermy.
Dude, do I know? Do you remember what episode that was?
The Pokemon episode.
Was it?
Yeah. because there's like a squalid or whatever, and you're like, I think it was taxidermied. And then,
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, at the very beginning.
yeah.
And you asked me how it works, and I said, "Well, you just stuff the cotton in it."
Oh,
Ask it to swallow.
Well, how else are you gonna get it in there?
For a second, I was like, wait, we talked about taxidermy before on the podcast, and now it's all quickly coming back to me.
My
I
finest.
chose it for one of the TikToks. I thought it was pretty funny.
One of my finest moments,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude. I think that's great. I think that's how it should be done.
Man, speaking of previous episodes, last week's really did sound like I said Edward Bridge.
I haven't listened to it.
I was listening to it yesterday when I said it,
Mm-hmm.
and I totally forgot that conversation happened. So when that conversation happened, I heard myself say it. My jaw dropped because I honestly thought I just straight up said it.
Now, as a reminder, what word was it that you were saying?
Nearest.
Nearest.
I said, "Okay, Google, find me the nearest bridge," and somehow, some way, it really sounds.
Dustin, do we need to tell Matt to go back and make another edit?
That's I've been
Or does
thinking
that
about
make it worse?
I don't know. It
Yeah.
really sounds.
Censoring it might make it sound worse.
Dude, I'll just cut it right after. Dude, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna cut it, and it's gonna sound like, "Okay, Google, show me the bridge," and it's gonna sound worse.
Yeah.
So
Right,
maybe,
and then especially me being like, wait, did you just say the N-word?
dude,
Dude, Dustin gonna get canceled before me. Let's go.
Rob needs to stop doxing us.
I even
Hey, I said no, we said immediately after the podcast, hey,
Matt,
you
make sure
need to
break
do
that out.
this. And you said, yep, I'm making a note right now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, you
you made a note.
First of all, I lied. I didn't make a note. I just said I did.
You liar!
Second, no, let's not talk about after the fact. Let's talk about before the fact, a good like 30 seconds before, where Rob the Gamer 115 specifically says, "I'm gonna censor a bunch of stuff.
I'm
because
gonna
it's
bleep out
important. I'm gonna bleep out a bunch of important information." Does it once, and then proceeds to say what cities we live in.
I
Or
did
live
it
there.
multiple
To be fair,
times.
he did like 3
I
times,
do like 5 beeps, my friend.
but like,
And then he.
but it's
then
still
he
funny that the
fumbles, and then
most
he-
important part that you really should have been
the
is
closest
the one you said out loud.
the closest one. So I'm just saying. Hey, I'm
Look on the bright side. No one was listening.
I'm just saying, Rob. Next time Rob, you have access to the YouTube channel. Next time you're doing it,
Dude, Matt, for the sake of all of us, you don't want me editing the podcast. Trust me.
no, I'm
I'll
just
edit
talking
it to make y'all look bad.
like you could figure out how to.
I've done editing, Matt. Like,
Yeah, all right, bud.
all right, you know what? I want to edit the next episode of the podcast.
So this one,
Dude, editing the podcast is really easy. You add the intro, the outro, and you do
I
some.
know,
audio
that's
stuff.
why I'm like, I can do it. Like, yeah, you're definitely the movie guy.
No,
but
you screwed up.
It's not that complicated.
I already know where he'd screw it up.
Yeah, where'd I screw up?
The audio levels would be atrocious. And then the audio version would just be unlistenable. Guarantee it, 100%.
I am inclined to agree with you on that because I can't even audio balance my own live stream.
Also, you don't have any of the assets. You don't have the intro. You don't have the outro. You don't have the music.
Well, yeah, I would have to have you send it to me. No shit.
Yeah,
there.
I do that.
Well, then yeah, obviously I'm not
Yeah,
making a
you're-
fucking
yeah, you're-
podcast, mate. Wow, he got me there, Dustin.
yeah,
Got you there. I hold all the cards. Also, just to break the rules a little bit, why have you been doing this for the past like 10 minutes?
there was like
I-
3 different situations where I've wondered the same thing.
Alright.
Where it's like it keeps going and going and going.
So the main reason you see me do something repeatedly and then just leave is because I'm trying to do a glitch, and then I'm like, fuck, I'm not getting it, I just give up.
Because I've been watching you play skee ball with this Easter Island head for about 10 minutes now.
Yeah, and if I don't get it
Um,
this time, I'm gonna give up.
What is
By the way, they're
supposed to
doing one more
happen?
vote.
What's supposed to happen is I
Oh,
get
really?
infinite money.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that.
Oh shit, he did it.
Dang.
Good job.
All I had to do
You
was
did
bring it up.
Wait, it stopped.
Oh. So it's supposed to get like stuck in there, I'm guessing.
So basically, going into it very quickly into basics. The way the skee ball works is you bowl into it, and then once it goes in a hole, you get that much money. I'm not getting it. Oh well, we'll give up. You get that much money, and that's it. So like, I would get 30. That's it. All right.
Yep.
Now, what I was trying to do is set up a situation where the ball is vibrating such that every frame it goes through the hole and then not through the hole.
Okay.
And it just gets stuck. However, it is very precise, as you can see.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
if
you
you
look
do
like
it
you-
right, you basically get that oscillating. Also, you don't have the audio. It's annoying as hell, I will tell you that.
Oh, does it make a noise every time?
Oh, it is so annoying.
Damn.
But it would keep going, and even while I'm watching this cutscene, it would still be going, and I'd get up to like 60,000.
And I guess it doesn't stop until you leave the area.
No, it stops when you get far enough away,
Mm-hmm.
but once you get closer again, it continues.
Okay.
Um,
So it's just an ambient sound that's in the world.
yeah, and it's just real annoying. But it gets you money, which would have been nice, but oh well. I'm also
Yeah.
not going to keep trying it because I would like the game fee to be somewhat entertaining. So,
Damn, he saved us.
but yeah,
Let's see.
there are many other glitches that I gave a couple of tries to, but I was like, yeah, I'm not getting it. This game is full of very difficult tricks that I have been slowly practicing for the better part of like 7 or 8 years now. Like, this isn't like a game where I learned this like a month ago. No, I've known about this trick for like 6 years. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah. Well, especially if it's like very precise.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
I
Like,
get
one of the tricks that I was going for, typically you do it with a sound cue. However, I don't have the game audio, so that was not going
Little bit-
great.
A little bit difficult.
A little bit harder. I have gotten it before without the sound cue, but a bit harder, yeah. But no, I'm just having fun with the game. Oh.
You said they're doing another vote, Dustin?
Yep, they just started the 15th vote.
Let's
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, they're going late tonight.
They must not be. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not actually doing anything over the weekend. So they're
Maybe.
like, let's get one more in there.
So
Maybe, I
you
don't
know how I mentioned earlier that people were started yelling at Matt Gates? Some people
Yes.
had to get like physically restrained from getting close to Matt Gates.
Oh my god,
my
you
other
watching this
Congresspeople.
live?
I wasn't watching live. I just saw like saying there was a fight that broke. I was like, what? And I looked for a video of it, and
Oh
someone
my
literally had to get pulled
God.
away by his face from getting
Oh
close
my
to Matt Gates.
god.
Wait, that's a house. Remember the house?
Yeah.
Do you know who?
Yo,
Let me see the name again.
AOC.
No, it
Mike,
would have been a Republican.
Mike Rogers. It doesn't say who
Mike
pulled him away, but Mike
Rogers.
Rogers was the one trying to confront Matt Gates.
Oh, I'm trying to think if I actually know that name, but I
Let
don't
me see.
think I do.
Okay, guess. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
Okay,
put in
yeah.
a guess and I'll tell you.
No, I'm gonna try to guess where he's from.
Oh, what was the name
Wait.
again?
Mike Rogers.
I have a guess. I have my guess.
So you're gonna guess where he's from or where he represents?
Well,
What do you-
what state he represents?
He represents.
I know my guess. Yeah.
I kind of want to just cheap out and say like Florida or Texas. 'Cause
We're
I
only
feel
gonna
like
allow one
that's-
answer.
I am going to say Florida.
Okay.
I-
Robert.
You asking for only one answer makes me think it's one of those two, and I wasn't gonna guess either of those. My guess was Colorado.
Colorado. Geographically, Matt was closest. Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama.
And he's
Okay.
from Indiana, which is why I asked for
Yeah.
where he's from or what he represents.
Dude, I don't.
Which is really stupid, and I hate that part of it.
Well,
We can represent a place that isn't.
well, just for clarity, Dustin, when you
Mhm.
say he's from Indiana, do you mean he was born there and has since moved out of Indiana?
Yes.
Or like, oh, well, that's fine then.
Well, yeah, he doesn't.
As long as he's representing a state he actually lives in.
Well, yeah, that's the bare minimum, isn't it?
Oh, you would think that.
You not?
Really? I
There
can represent
is
California.
no. Well, there was the guy who ran and got elected in Georgia, and then after the election, it came out that like on his tax returns, he considers his primary residence Texas.
Wasn't that Herschel Walker?
Maybe why?
Yeah, that was Herschel Walker, and he didn't win.
Oh well, if he didn't win, regardless, he ran.
Yeah, but he was hiding that part because he wouldn't have been able to if that was like a well-known thing, before he ended up losing.
Cringe.
Yeah,
Why they gotta be cringe?
I just find all this brouhaha with like the vote for the Speaker in the House and how it's all getting heated and how it's 15
I'm
votes
loving
now.
it.
I'm
Hey.
loving
I'm
it. It's
loving
also it's just hilarious because of how much it means nothing.
Hey, I have a question.
It's hilarious how
regardless-
much the Republican Party is actively destroying itself.
The thing is, regardless of who they vote in, it doesn't matter. We know what they're gonna do. They're gonna investigate Hunter Biden's dick, and they're gonna ignore everything Joe Biden wants to do. That's it. I would just like to say, I definitely did not steal that from political commentator Hassan Piker. Do not look at his Twitter account. I came up with that idea all on my own.
Wow, stealing someone else's shit.
Azan.
Wait, Dustin,
Yo.
you're stealing someone else's work and taking credit for it? You should go into
Never.
politics.
Sorry, Matt, you were
Rank,
saying something.
ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice voting.
Yo.
Ranked choice voting.
I am fully confident that the only reason ranked choice voting did not pass in Massachusetts is because people are dumb and didn't look into it.
They don't know what it means.
I had to
I also
spend an hour explaining it to my parents, and they still didn't understand it and voted against it.
You want to know why I think another reason that people didn't vote for ranked choice voting is?
Yeah.
They didn't look on the other side of the ballot.
Very possibly, yeah.
Because I know that's a problem with a lot of ballots that people don't look on the other side, so really important measures don't pass.
Yeah.
Because Americans are dumb and they don't think to flip the paper over, even though on the top it's supposed to say, make sure you look on the backside. There's more on the backside.
Can't you just put like a big red? Do they not just put a big red arrow on it that says over?
They do.
They do that, right?
People are dumb.
Matt, I read this thing that made me really think long and hard. Picture how dumb the average American is, right?
Okay.
Alright. Literally speaking, 50% of Americans are dumber than that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like,
Huh.
Because that's the average.
because that's average.
People.
Like,
Yeah, no, I see
that's
what you
how
mean.
stupid people are. Like, Matt, let me be, like, I think you guys have said that, like,
let me be clear.
like, book-wise, you guys would consider me probably the smartest of the three of us. But, like, the fact of the matter is that all three of us are probably in the top 10%.
Let's go!
Yo, Mom, I
Like,
did something.
that's... I have that little faith in the public.
Dude, that's why
The
people should
people.
that's why people should listen to our podcast because we are all in the top 10%
We
of
are
intelligence.
intelligent.
This is the most intelligent podcast.
Hey, you know what that means? Our audience is also in the top 10%.
Yo, if you're not listening to the podcast, if you're not listening to us talk about kids shows and video games every week, you are in the bottom percentile of people, just in general, in every metric.
Wow.
But luckily, that's not you listening right now. You are cool. You are one of the best.
Woo! Cool.
So, and if you want your friends to stop sucking at being a person, have them listen to the podcast. That's all I'm saying. That's my 2 cents.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying, man. Look how cool we are. Look how cool. Look how cool Dustin is. Look at him. Dustin, say something cool.
So cool.
He's so cool.
Because, the coolest people are always the one who have to point it out that they're cool.
Yeah, of course. Well, obviously.
Yeah. Hell,
'Cause
we
we-
know how cool
Because
I
we're
am.
because we're the authority. We're the authority on being cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I had an interesting experience playing Halo yesterday.
Yeah.
So, let me start off by explaining the current state of Halo Master Chief Collection, okay?
Sure.
Can you explain it in red versus blue terms?
No.
Fuck.
So we had 13 votes.
Alright.
Oh,
So,
oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay. He's so cool.
So, basically, there is this glitch that's plaguing the game where sometimes you just don't respawn.
I'm a gamer.
Which is not great. That being said, what they recently did to fix that was allow you to quit the game and rejoin, which is important because the way it currently works is if you quit the game, you're just temporarily banned from doing matchmaking,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the reason you left.
Okay.
Hell, I've had times where the game literally just disconnects me because it loses connection, and it still bans me.
Is this the most recent Halo game?
No, but it's like the most well-played one at this point.
Okay, it said Halo
Because
3.
it's six of the Halo games in one, basically.
Okay.
So, from there, the situation went like this. I've been doing 4v4 multiplayer. We were playing this game, and early on, 3 out of the 4 people on the enemy team left the game. We were up like 10 kills or whatever, they just left. And normally, Halo, this game has also, unfortunately, a bad status where people rage quit all of the time. So, after a minute, none of them reconnected. So it's just 4 of us against 1 guy. And what ended up happening was we ended up chilling out, much like the Overwatch game, which I've never seen in Halo in my life.
That's a okay.
But
No, I mean,
all 5 of us just stopped killing for a while, and we were just chilling, right?
yeah.
And we were just kind of having fun, just goofing around for a bit. The funny part was, after goofing around for several minutes, the 3 people all of a sudden reconnected.
Oh.
And none of us knew how to handle that, because we were right next to the other guy. So I'm like, who's gonna break the ice horse? Because these 3 are certainly not gonna continue the peace treaty.
that is an awkward moment because
And
it's
so
like you all slowly look at the guy.
I did the most neutral thing I could think of, Matt. I looked at the guy, and I just walked away. And I just walked away. But, like, even during that match, I found the guy again, and me and him were just like chilling next to each other for like a whole minute. I was just gonna kill any other enemy that walked by us, and he could kill anyone on my team. But like me and him, we were tight.
And this isn't a common thing in Halo.
No.
That is.
I've been playing Halo for like probably 12 years, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
That is actually that I didn't know about. I didn't know that's not a common thing in Halo, because as someone that comes from playing TF2 and Overwatch, but specifically, oh, look at that stupid little state. There's Texas on the screen. But as someone coming from especially TF2, that is such a common occurrence where, like, one of the most common things is like two people will just like miss, like me and the other person will just miss every single shot we have on each other, and then we just kind of just stand there and look at each other, and then we'll be, and then in like the voice tag, I'll be like, yes sir, and then I'll leave. Or I'll do like a funny voice line or something. And then my favorite one is if I'm getting like chased and I'm like running from this. I remember one time I did it, and this is when it works out. TF2 has a lot of taunts that you do with another person, and some of them you can do, but and most of them you can also do between teams. Like you can do it with an enemy, someone on the enemy team.
Mhm.
And there's a rock paper scissors taunt that's totally RNG based. But if you're on different teams, the one who loses dies just on the spot. They die. So what I'll do is I'll just be running from them. I'll realize I'm dead, and then I'll just be like, rock paper scissors.
Here's why I think it's more like happens more often in the games that you play, Matt. You ready?
Sure.
I think it's two things. The first and the biggest one is that you have those kind of emotes things, where it's like just something fun you can do. Because, you know, Overwatch has them, Team Fortress has them, Halo does not. I think that's a part of it. And I think the other big part of it comes down to how common it is to even have people communicating while playing the game. Because, like, in Halo, your options are, you don't really have like a text option, especially because most people still play on Xbox. That's not happening. And as for voice, most people don't do the voice because the people who do tend to do the voice usually tend to be children, younger kids.
So what you're saying is your community is cringe.
I mean, yes.
Sick. Another win for Matt. Everything's looking up me.
Like, as much as I enjoy the Halo games, I don't think I would ever say anything great, too great about the Halo community.
Oh.
Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Your story kind of reminded me of one time. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
No, you say.
One time, I think it was Matt, George A. Fanning, and I were playing Overwatch, and we entered a game to fill in for the rest of the team for one person in a game that was already happening. It was already at the end. It was so close to the end, I didn't even have time to leave spawn. I don't know if you remember that, Matt.
Yeah.
It was just... we entered the game so late, I couldn't even leave spawn fast enough, and the game was already over.
So another in a team of 5 people, a 4-stack just left on this one guy all at once.
I think I've heard
it backfilled us.
I remember it was like, I'm so sorry, guys.
It's like,
I'm sorry that happened. And then when the play of the game happened, we're all like, oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember. Oh yeah, that moment.
I was there for that. Yeah.
No, TF2 is definitely built. TF2 for one, it's definitely not as try hard and sweaty. I mean, you can be, but it's definitely more relaxed. It's also there's just a lot of people, and it's just really common to just have interactions with people on the other team, and just to be fun, or like I'll do it all. Like if like one thing is that the soldier can rocket jump, and you can chain like crazy rocket jumps, and you can go for a weapon that basically does like 200 something damage, It's 195 actually, but it does like a lot of damage that will one shot most of the classes.
It's 195.
So what happens a lot is if you're trying to chain together like crazy rocket jumps that sends you across the map, is you can like fly across the map and just barely miss in front of someone. And typically what will happen is you'll just like look up at them and they'll look at you and you just have this like awkward moment, and then typically you'll just both walk the other direction. And you'll let it happen, or you find someone that on the other team that you just kind of vibe with, and you just every time you see them, or you just like purposely 1v1 each other as fun. Another one in TF2 that is great is if someone is maybe losing like a 1v1, what they'll do is they'll just like take out their melee weapon and like move back and forth, and that is basically them saying, "Hey, melee duel," like melee only. And typically, what I do every time is I always honor the melee duel. I will never not honor the melee.
If there's any word that I could use to describe Matt, it's honorable.
I will always honor. And you know what? I have won the melee duel. I've brought out the melee duel and lived times I should not have lived. I have been completely destroying someone and they go for the melee, and I'm like, well, they brought out the melee. I gotta go for it. And sometimes I've lost those, but you always gotta do it. You always have to do the melee duel.
You know what I just realized, Matt? I can describe you to a T in one sentence. Ready?
Oh boy.
You are the person who, no matter the situation, if you can make something funnier, you'll do it.
Oh, 100%, dude.
You will always take the joke. No matter what, you will always take the joke. You know what? I appreciate that.
How much of this is me having you, right before we did this, you leading me to the Ender portal and me immediately jumping into it? Did that feed into?
Did that feed into what I just said? I'm gonna be honest. That wasn't even on my mind when I said that.
Oh, because I literally did exactly what you're talking about maybe an hour ago or hour or two ago.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I'll always do it.
Oh yeah.
And then and also TF2 players are so cute, dude. Sometimes they'll pull out the melee, but you'll already be attacking them and they'll die. And then in chat they'll be like, "Dude, I am so sorry. I didn't see you going for the melee. Like, do you want to meet back in that location and we'll run that shit back?" or if you're doing like a melee or just a really intense 1v or like a really intense 1v1 and someone else just comes and ruins it. Most of the time, especially if you're playing on like a community server and people are chill, they'll be like, "Yo, run that back." Let's redo that.
Evil? You know what would be evil is someone who they pull out the melee, the other person just kills them or whatever, and then in the text they're like, "Oh no, I didn't realize you were doing the melee. Let's meet up back here, right?" So the guy goes back, and then he just shoots and kills him again.
Okay, here's what you do, right? If that happens, there's two options.
Oh yeah.
One, they do that and they just walk away and keep playing the game. Mm-hmm. That's cringe. Mm-hmm. But if they do that and then immediately taunt and then hit their kill bind, which immediately just kills them, then it's funny. Because that works? Yeah, because so Source Engine games, especially like TF2 or like Counter-Strike or whatever, you can like have the console and you can enter commands.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand like how the kill work. Yeah.
So a lot of TF2 players have a kill bind. It's just a button. There's two options. There's two factions, if you will. There is the kill bind, where it just makes your ragdoll just flop, or there is the explode, where it makes your character explode. Mm-hmm. And people have very intense arguments on which one is funnier. Oh, I am on team funny. I am on team kill bind, and my ragdoll just falls to the ground. I think it's funnier. Mm-hmm. I have both set just in case, but I think kill bind. I think ragdoll going is funnier. And what a lot of people will do is, if they get like a kill that they really shouldn't deserve, but they get it, they'll immediately kill bind after. So the person that got killed sees that they kill bind after, and they're like, "Yeah, that was a stupid kill. I should not have gotten that." And then they both die, and it's really funny. Also, the doing a high five taunt, and then as soon as the high five happens, you hit your kill bind. It's just a TF2 staple, and most of the time, both people will do it. Especially in spawn, you do like the high five, you wait for someone, and then you high five both of them. Both of them kill. Both of you die. Someone that just happened to watch it also kill binds, and then someone on the complete other side of spawn just saw that three people hit their kill
Three people
bind,
did it.
and they hit their kill bind. This is such a common joke in TF2, and it is probably one of my favorite things about the game, is that we all just have instilled in our brains kill bind equal funny, and to always do it if other people do it.
Meanwhile, my first experience with TF2 was just someone being, I want to say, like, racist or something.
Well, you know, I've said it before, and I've said it before. The three types of players TF2 will make you turn into.
Oh, hang on. Let me see if I remember them. It was racist,
Nazi.
Nazi, furry.
Yep.
I forget what the third was.
I remember.
Do you know it, Dustin?
Yeah, transgender.
It's trans.
Trans, right.
Yeah, I mean, I know I said it like before, but yeah, that's just something I heard in a chill server where like all like 24 people were just being super chill, and everyone was bringing out their custom signs with that you can put any picture on it you want. Half of it's like Rule 34. A lot of people have Rule 34 signs, and you're a narc if you report it. Just saying. But a lot of them have like their pride flags on it, and I'm like walking around. I'm like, that's sick. And some dude in chat is just like, yeah, if you played TF2 long enough, you're gonna end up one of those three things. And I was like, you know what? True, bestie. So true.
Just to clarify, which one of the three did you end up as?
I think we have all unanimously decided that I am not any of those yet. But if I was to be, it most likely would be furry.
Okay. So Matt's a furry and just doesn't feel comfortable yet admitting it to himself.
Which I play D&D.
Which you shouldn't be.
Dude, you play D&D. If you play D&D and you think furries are genuinely okay, you can think they're weird, but you can't think it's like bad weird.
Mm-hmm.
If you play D&D, I'm like, you can't think that it's like bad weird.
Watch.
I just don't. Thanks, Dustin.
That being said, I want your opinion on this. This actually happened today, and I just remembered it because of what you're saying.
Okay, yeah.
I had a conversation with a student today where I've been in like these smaller classrooms, so it's only like a couple of kids.
Yeah.
So, and they have like no work. So we were just kind of talking. Mm-hmm. And the kids are having their own conversation. And as I remind them, keep the conversation to school appropriate. And at one point, they start talking about furries.
Okay.
To which I said, guys, as a reminder, keep the conversation to school appropriate. And they said, well, what about furries is not school appropriate? They basically were like, all a furry is someone who basically identifies as an animal.
Yeah.
I mean,
and to a certain extent, they are right.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, would you say that would be something that would be a school appropriate thing? Or is it something that's not? Or is it something that's like, well, it depends on how far?
All right.
I think it totally depends on how far it goes.
Yeah,
I don't think you could just say talking about furries is bad.
Yeah, let's look at it this way.
Well, I'm not saying it's bad.
Well,
as 3 non-furries, maybe 2.5 non-furries, depending on how the next couple of years go. Okay.
2.5 non-furries, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like 2.5 men.
Fur.
Something like that. But, I mean, Charlie Sheen had tiger blood. That's all I'm saying. It's like originally when I was younger, I thought when I first heard about furries, I thought it was like purely a sexual thing.
Right.
Because that was the only like exposure I had to it, was it in that context. Later, as I, just kind of was exposed to it more by being
As you became an adult,
by being chronically online and living on the internet and having unrestricted access to the internet,
as one does.
as one does, I learned that that's not the case, and that it's actually pretty chill. It's just people that have a hobby. It's a pretty weird hobby. It's a pretty different hobby, but no, I say weird as in not. I don't say weird, but meaning no negativity of it. I think it's pretty cool.
You could say D&D is a weird hobby. I mean,
yeah. And back in the day,
weird. I tell kids this all the time. Weird is not a negative word.
Dude,
weird is a descriptor.
But it's
not inherently positive or negative.
Dude, back in the day, you said you played D&D. They're like, well, that kid's worshiping the devil. I mean, basically,
well, that's a Satan worshiper.
I mean, have you seen my D&D character? Of course, I am. But like,
yeah,
it's not. It's a fandom. It's a community. And it's the same as like any community. I mean, you would let your kids talk about Pokemon.
I would,
but the moment they start saying, well, in terms of human Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible.
Yeah, that's when it's like, okay, that's not school appropriate.
Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, okay, maybe we don't talk about that in 7th grade English. But you know what I'm saying?
No, and I get it. And they kind of gave me thought, and I was like, you have a good point there.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I would say that you are.
I mean, it's not like I wrote that. Like, it's not like I put them in trouble at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It was just a genuine conversation we had, and I was like, you know what? You kind of have a point. You're right.
Yeah. It's. I mean, honestly, if I heard that someone was like trying, not that you did this, but if I heard that just this hypothetical person was like trying to get kids in trouble for talking about being a furry, or just talking about general furry community things in school, I'd be like, yeah, that's also like the type of person that would try to get kids in trouble for like talking about like being like gay or being like non-straight. I see that as like, no, that's probably a bigot that said that. Someone that's very uncomfortable with people being different from them. And choosing to be a negative to things they don't understand and reject them, as opposed to being like at least a little bit understanding. Right? Like if I hear teacher from some random city is in trouble for, if I hear it like on the news for like being in trouble for discrimination, and it's like about a furry, I'm like 100%. That is 100% discrimination. And they don't. Yeah, I don't think them saying it. Yeah, there's nothing about it that's not school appropriate unless they start talking about something that's not school appropriate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I went to a furry convention. Not inappropriate for school, and there was, and I bought this and I got, oh dude, the commissioned artwork I got from this guy, and my neon colored wolf's dick is so big. Yeah, maybe you don't talk about that in school. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, once we start talking about your fingers, when you need to draw a line.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh,
I don't want to.
Okay, here's the thing. If I am the most likely to become a furry, Dustin's the second, because he knows what that is.
Well, stop it.
He knows what that is. He's second. He is the second most furry on the podcast. Good job, Rob. He doesn't like it. Oh, he doesn't. Good. Good. Oh, Dustin doesn't like that.
Dustin, leave.
No, I'm. Has that nothing to say?
Because it's true.
I win.
He's literally the TF2 player.
Yeah, but you knew what that was.
Everyone does.
Not
we're,
Rob.
we're comparing ourselves to Robert here. Are you kidding me?
Not Rob.
Yeah, it's kind of not a fair comparison.
You're
He's
also
got
the
you
second
there.
biggest. You're also the second biggest Ariana Grande fan.
Yeah.
So get rolled, dude. Because I have at least one song in my liked songs from Ariana Grande, maybe 2, possibly 3.
I
Wow.
don't even know if I have one.
I also just like a lot of songs. I have a
Yeah.
lot. I have a lot of
Oh,
like songs
Christ.
on Spotify. Hey Rob, just out of curiosity, just because I don't have the OBS
No,
timer
okay.
anymore. What are we looking at?
145.
Really? Wow, it goes by a lot slower when I don't have the clock. Oh, you wanna answer a question for me?
Yeah, sure, it's up.
What is the other thing in the topics channel? Why'd you just write moon?
All right. So I take it you, Dustin, have you heard about this?
I don't think so.
All right.
Are we going to
This
the
was
moon?
No, this was a bonkers thing that I read. And I obviously no clue how truthful this is, but apparently China is trying to land someone on the moon and potentially create a military base on the moon to then claim that they own the moon.
Isn't that?
And-
Isn't there international laws against that?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I read something recently saying the moon's like.
On top of that, basically, because the issue is that China is wanting to fly someone to the moon under the reasoning of scientific research,
Yeah.
which would totally be fine, except for the fact that they've already before gone somewhere with the purpose of saying that it's scientific research, and then basically took control and prevented any other nation from entering the place. So now there's discussion of, are we now having to do a new space race against China to race to the moon?
Hey,
I
wait a
absolutely love
minute.
that you said they're sending someone to the moon to make a military base. So I'm just imagining one dude is being sent up there. It's like,
Well,
okay,
dude,
bud, go ahead, make some
Dustin,
weapons.
from my understanding, that's not that far off.
One dude with a space gun. Which is just a regular gun that says-
more into this, because I only looked quickly at it and was like,
Hey.
this is bonkers.
Okay,
Hey,
how do I make a moon tank?
Wait a minute.
I was
Wait a
like,
minute.
this is
Hey, you know what?
bizarre.
You know what could have stopped all of this?
If we had just elected a Speaker of the House.
If we had just gone through with the Space Force.
We did! There is a Space Force!
Yeah, there is a
We're
Space Force.
good. Then we're good. What's the
No,
problem?
because
We're
the
all
Space
settled.
Because the Space Force doesn't do what you probably think it does.
They are the Marines of space.
They're actually nothing like that.
They are like the Coast Guard of the stars, the Coast Stars, if you will.
I'm pretty sure they basically just became in charge of a couple of satellites or something.
You ever hear a Master Chief? Do you know who Master Chief is, Rob?
I would hope I do, given I am the Halo player here.
That game was inspired by the Space Force.
Interesting. So
Yep.
there was time travel.
That's what they do.
I
They have Cortana.
I see.
That's what the Space Force does.
Well, until Microsoft pulled Cortana.
Oh shit. They have Siri. They have Siri up there. Apple is a military contractor. Everyone knows that.
Dude, you've got to be shitting me. Cool, fuck you, game.
Oh, whoa. Leave the game alone.
The game didn't spawn a box that it was supposed to.
Why? Oh God, there's so many Texas on screen.
Yeah.
Remember when SpongeBob just was like called Texas stupid for a bit multiple times?
Yeah.
Bring back that era of
Yeah.
SpongeBob. Back when SpongeBob was, dare I say it, based.
Dude. They made a lot of mean jokes about Texas.
Deserved.
Deserved.
Deserved. But here's the thing.
and
Those
look
jokes
how
were made before Texas became Texas, I think.
and look how it ended up. Life imitates art.
I feel
Yeah.
like Texas was always Texas.
But here's the thing.
Before the internet.
Texas may have been Texas, but Florida was Florida.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming more and more hard to tell the difference between the two, I find.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
To the point where earlier today, Matt guessed that he was from Texas or Florida.
I just love out of context. Out of context, you just said Texas is Texas and Florida is Florida.
I mean,
I'm like, yo, brave.
Dude,
statement.
dude, this just in, Connecticut is Connecticut.
We get a
just bigger Rhode
geography lesson
Island.
with Robert on the podcast.
Yo, you know how he learned? You know, this is what this is what he learns from GeoGuessr.
You know it.
This is what he gets for constantly pulling up GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
Dude, Robert and I got to play GeoGuessr against each other at one point.
We gotta what? Play against each other?
Yeah, because we want to do a.
Oh yeah, we wanted
only
to
one.
play against each other on the U.S. only to see how much we learned on our trip.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do it.
Listen, I've since done U.S. on GeoGuessr, and turns out it didn't get any better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But Dustin's goaded now.
We
But
also
you know
wanted.
what, Dustin? We can verse each other.
Yeah. We also
Maybe
want to
can
do a
make that
thing.
into a special video we post on the podcast.
We also
Oh,
want to do a thing where Matt got 48 pictures of all the state capitals, and Robert and I had to go against each other.
We should
It's
still
based
do
on-
that.
Based on what you said a couple weeks ago, it seems like I destroy you. Considering you said you only remember 3.
The pictures may jog memories, though.
Okay. That's good.
I wouldn't. I'm not. That was me stuttering a lot. I don't think I would say you would destroy me, but I would probably predict you beat me over me beating you. I mean, in general, I think you have a better memory when it comes to just life.
Yeah, I just remember stupid things.
No. You remember more things. The things I remember are the stupid things.
I guess.
Dustin, name one thing you remember.
We were supposed to censor the name of our town last episode.
I do remember that. I remember you were supposed to censor the name of our town.
I remember that.
The sentence was, "We are planning on moving to blank and blank."
Actually, yeah. Did you take out both of those, or did you only take out one?
I took out both of them.
Oh, okay.
You didn't sound very confident. You sure?
No, it's because the YouTube like. Shut up. Okay, it's the YouTube editor is cringe.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
and it
I'll
doesn't
agree with you on
function.
that.
It doesn't function very well, and the way you have to do it is a little weird. But
Yeah, no, it's
basically,
bad.
like I wasn't able to get like a smooth cut. It's a hard cut. It's a little jarring.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier than re-editing the thing and uploading it again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Basically it's like I think how it goes is with how expensive rent is, we're looking for an apartment, hard cut, and that's it. That's the response. Like
Oh, okay. Got
yeah.
it. So yeah,
Like,
it's a little rough, but
It's a little rough, but that was like the last thing you said
hey,
on
now
it,
there's
too.
context for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why there's that's I know that's why there's a hard cut, because Rob keeps trying to dox us.
Yeah, so it's a really good thing you didn't censor me saying the N-word then.
Yeah, it literally would just say, "Oh, and that's the bridge. And honestly, it sounds worse.
Yeah.
I
I even
think it
tried
sounds
listening to it
worse.
in slow-mo, and it just made it sound even worse. It just sounds like I'm saying the N-word really slowly. Part of me is a little, like, scared. Like, am I losing my mind so badly that I really said that and I just didn't notice?
Did you gaslight yourself?
I don't know.
Dustin, don't worry. I
Do
don't
I
think
have
you're getting
dementia?
as bad as Matt's
Dude.
boss.
Do I have dementia? Dude, don't even get me started. I'm not talking. Dude, again, once I finally leave this place, I will.
Dude, we're gonna have quite the tell-all podcast when you do.
Once-
It's going to be a
Once I-
two-parter.
It might be a two-parter.
Dude, Dustin, two,
dude.
more like a 4.
Dude, just this
Yeah, I'll take
week. Just this week. Alone. One thing I will say about work is that
Yeah.
today, because without getting into it, everyone knows what's going on, essentially. Everyone knows what's going on. And dude, it's been such I mean, I have to work this weekend. Hopefully it'll be chill. Nothing will happen this weekend. I've already looked at my menus ahead of time. It's all pretty easy, nothing too difficult.
Okay.
But today I was just drained. It's my one morning shift of the week. I had to wake up at 6. And I had the dining room set up like half an hour early. And I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna sit down. So I pulled up one of the chairs at the dining room and I sat down. And I must have just looked exhausted because 3 individual people who just came into the dining room for random reasons.
When you say people, do you mean residents or
Staff, people that work there.
Staff. Okay.
Came up to me and was like, "You look exhausted." I was like, "Yeah." I'm like being in the
trucks.
I'm like being in the kitchen's rough right now, and they're like, "Yeah, I know." And like I'd have conversations about what
I know, jeez.
because we're in a situation right now. I know I hate being vague about it, but I don't want to talk about it in case it turns out to be something serious.
Right.
I'm worried it might.
Based on what you've told me, I am very concerned there's something serious.
But basically, and we all just like went over because there is something potentially serious going on, and everyone seems to have their own individual experience of it. And very slowly, I am just collecting the like the collective of what's going on. Even people outside of my department. But yeah, I was just standing there. I was just sitting there, and 3 or 4 people just like separately came up to me and was like, "You look exhausted." And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "The stuff," and I'm like, "Oh, 100%. I don't even want to go in there right now." They're like, "Yeah, I don't blame you." And I just sat, and you know, I like that. I like that part of my job. Maybe it's not necessarily my job, but like the position I'm at in my job, where I've been there a while. A lot of people know me.
Mhm.
And I can just get away with just sitting down for half an hour because all my work's done. No one's gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're not working."
Right.
Like I can just sit there and just be exhausted. And I'm like, I can just say I deserve this. And like, and it's when there is, I learned this a couple. I think the first experience I had with this was like during college, where if there is something going on and you think, and like it is like driving you crazy and it is like nonstop, just having someone like confirm it to you that you're not crazy and
that you are being rational.
that like it is that like you are not, just someone confirming that you're not the crazy person and that your interpretation of reality is correct is so reassuring.
Oh, it
is so good.
Well, it's like that's why when Dustin messaged us and said it does sound like I said the N-word, my immediate reaction was, "Well, thank you for making me feel validated." Because I was like, okay, it's not just me.
Yeah, I certainly do remember now at the time when you said that. I was like, how could you have possibly heard that? I
Right,
said nearest.
you acted like I was crazy. And I think Matt was just kind of like, I kind of didn't hear it. But no,
Yeah.
that's why I was like, thank you.
Matt, I know you literally just say you don't want to get into specifics about
Yeah.
your gun, but obviously you don't have. I'm not asking you to, but there was a story that you told me from work that I wonder if there's an update on. Though you
Okay.
told me a story about maybe a year ago, maybe more.
Yeah.
But was there an update to that
Oh.
whole week when you came into work and everyone was acting weird?
Oh, that.
Yeah. You don't have to say it. You just tell me
That.
if there is an update or not.
Fuck. In short, there is not really an update to that
Okay.
because most of the people involved either are no longer working there. I don't think it's
Dang.
like I don't think it's related at all.
Right.
Or it might be, I don't know.
Mhm.
But let's see, how do I say this to give context? Basically, a lot of people at work, a lot of people that I like either talked to or was somewhat friendly with, specifically like people like our age or younger, were all just suddenly started like acting really weird. Like they were just like random people that had never hung out before were hanging out. People's like entire attitudes like changed. That people were like eating like lunch in weird places or
Yeah, that
like
was
being really friend. Like the main one, I think the one Dustin's specifically talking about is how a bunch of people just went in, a bunch of different people from different departments all at one time just like went into one room
yeah,
and
that was
just
actually one of the ones I was thinking.
and just stayed there. And I'm setting up so I'm just watching this happen. And they're just all in there for some reason. A bunch of people I know whose jobs do not who I know what times departments take breaks. I know where people's jobs are. None of that made sense. And it just it was just driving me crazy.
Yeah,
Because
it
I
was like
had
a thing
no
that was
idea.
happening for like a full week, right?
Oh
Something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Now it's never gonna know.
And I'll
And
never
you never got
know.
an answer to that.
I mean, I never like I asked anyone, but people either left or have just like drastically changed, either where I don't talk to them at all anymore. Not for that reason, but like I'm not as like friendly as I used to be, or they don't work there, or there's just not an opportunity for me to bring it up. So no, I'll never get closure on that.
That's a shame because you were
I'll
really when you told me about it, you were really losing your mind.
I was
You were
dude,
going nuts.
dude.
I think I remember this story now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, it's weird, man.
Yeah, it sounds it.
That place drives me crazy for multiple reasons. And it shifts. It shifts on who is doing most of the driving me crazy. And when it's multiple, which is probably why I was so anxious.
Right.
When it's multiple people at once, that's when it gets rough. And I think that may have been what it was, because I think there may have been stuff with like my schedule at the same time going on then. But yeah, no, it gets crazy there, and I will be once I can finally leave. I'll tell on the podcast. I don't care. I'll never see those people again. Well,
Right.
that's not true. My mom works there, but whatever.
Aside from that.
We'll just ignore that little fact.
Yeah, nah, it'll be good, man. When I was, because I really like the snow. I love snow.
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier. How much you
I love
snow.
snow. I have most of the time I have my
Just-
windows. I have my like drapes, my windows closed because, like, not to sound like a dungeon dwelling gamer or anything, but like
we know you are, but go on.
my window, or one window, is like exactly where the sun is, and it just shines in, and it's like blinds me.
Yeah, then you go.
Yeah. So typically I have my windows closed, and I have pretty shitty blinds. So I have like a blanket that goes over it. So I don't have a lot of natural light in my room. But but I have it open because I like because it wasn't bright out today and it was snowing, and I really like that. But when I was walking home today in the snow, because it was snowing, because I walk and I don't drive. Uh and I was just like walking through the snow, and there was this like weird mix of all of the weird stuff that's going on at work right now, but I'll be also being happy that it was snowing, and then I was walking home in the snow. And then I had put this like I put this YouTube playlist on because I listen to music when I walk home. That was like, I think it's called like a playlist for when you're walking in the snow, like when you're the last person in the world and you're walking through the snow. And it was just like this weird, like droney, like apocalypse. Like that's what it felt like. Like I was in like a movie, and it was like the soundtrack for a movie where like there's like an apocalypse and I'm the only person left, and I'm like walking through like heavy snow. And so that all of that combined, on my way home, I would just occasionally just like laugh like a psycho.
So
it was such a weird vibe. And I was just like, and it was a laugh. It was a mix of like laughing because I'm like, I like this music. I like the music I'm listening to because it sounds like a movie soundtrack. And I'm happy that it's snowing, but I also know that it's weird, or it's kind of weird that I'm like happy that it's snowing and I'm walking while it's snowing, because that's a little bit odd. And that like I'm finally leaving work because stuff's going crazy, and all of that just like made me like lose my, like I was just like maniacally laughing on my way home, and I am not ashamed of it at all.
That being said, Dustin, what's your opinion on snow?
I mean,
Sure.
It's nice to look at sometimes. Outside of that, not particularly fond of it.
So Matt was telling me about how much he loves snow earlier, and I responded by basically saying I hate snow.
Sure.
And I think I realized the biggest difference between why Matt loves snow and why I hate snow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because Matt doesn't drive.
That's why I said looking at it's kind of nice sometimes.
You see, every single reason that I can think of that I hate snow ultimately comes down to the fact that I drive a car.
Right.
Because it snowing means that I have to shovel a car out. It means I have to clear a windshield off of snow. It means that I have to provide extra time in the morning to warm up the car in order to defrost the car. It means that the roads are going to be slippery, so I got to be more careful on the roads and potentially drive slower than I would like to. Every reason that I hate the snow is because I drive a car.
Most of those first reasons are invalidated because I also had to do those things. I also had to wake up early to dust off to get rid off of snow because I did it for my mom pretty much my whole life.
That was very nice of you.
Yeah. Also, your point's invalidated. Get wrecked, nerd.
I
also am fully aware that one of the many reasons I don't drive is that I get very stressed out about the idea of it, and that would even be on a beautiful day. I definitely would understand that like driving in the snow would be way more difficult. And I can understand that, and not wanting to drive in the snow or any condition that would make it potentially more dangerous. I totally understand that.
I remember when I forget if I've told this story in the podcast, but I think I've told you guys the story. But I remember when I had like, I think when my permit and I was working on getting my license, there was the mother of all rainstorms hit us. It was such a downpour. And my dad went up to me and said, "All right, you're driving." And we're just at home. I'm like,
You're not going anywhere?
yeah, no, we were just chilling at home. And he's like, "All right, you're driving." And I'm like, "The hell are you talking about? I'm driving. A, I have nowhere to go. And B, no shot in hell I'm driving in this kind of a storm." And he's like, "Well, you need to learn how to drive in the rain because otherwise you're not going to do it." And I drove for about 5 minutes before pulling into a parking lot and having a breakdown. Matt, in all my years of driving, that is still the worst storm I've ever driven in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not even close.
I can almost understand it if you guys had somewhere to go, but the fact that he literally just decided you're driving and you had nowhere
Not
to go
only that,
is what made it
but
makes it so crazy.
I don't even know if I had driven in any rain at that point.
Oh,
Like, it was a down. The wipers were on max, and I still could not see Dustin.
wow.
And it was at like 4 in the evening on like a November, which
Right.
around here it gets dark.
It's practically pretty dark.
Like, I was so scared,
Yeah.
and
100%.
it was a situation where like, if I had to be somewhere, I'd be like, nope, not happening.
Right.
Yeah, that drives me nuts.
That's insane.
Oh. Yeah, no, that was not a fun thing to deal with.
It's kind of crazy how little snow we've been getting.
I know.
I was thinking that earlier this week. I was like, holy shit. We
almost-
are in early January, and like, besides today, taking today out of the equation, I think it only snowed like once this winter, and it was like the lightest dusting you could imagine.
Yeah.
I was like, again, I don't like snow, so not that I was complaining at all.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, where's all the snow? I was like, I had convinced myself that this means that we're gonna get like the worst blizzard of the season's gonna be in like late March.
That is typical. That has happened a few times. We've had a few years where December and January are pretty lackluster in snow, but then February and March make up for it by a lot.
Forget February, March. We've had April storms like that.
Christ. You're living in Massachusetts, you are not safe from snow until after Easter.
And even then,
Until
it
Easter
sometimes
passes.
gets you.
Hey, Dust, you want to get a little bit more specific on what parts of Massachusetts?
Here's a question for you all.
Talk about me. Shut up.
Wait, here's a question for the two of you. You ready?
Yeah.
I have distinct memories. I couldn't tell you what year, but I have distinct memories of one Halloween trick-or-treating in a snowstorm.
You do?
You do?
Yes.
And you lived here?
Yes.
Huh. I don't
I
remember that.
remember a Halloween, it snowed on Halloween. And I remember getting snow on my costume and thinking, well, this isn't normal.
I don't remember.
No, I don't remember that.
I do not remember that. I
I'm
remember.
gonna have to go back into weather reports and try to find which year.
I remember one year in like elementary school when we like had like a week off because of snow.
Mm-hmm.
I remember because some like family or someone had offered for us to like go to like Florida for that week. And my mom, and I think my mom was like, "Nah, Matt has school. I have work. Probably can't do that." And then we were like, after, my mom was like, "Yeah, well, we could have gone."
Oh well, hindsight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I remember that. I don't remember Halloween being in a snowstorm.
I'm gonna have to look into that because sometimes memories play tricks on you. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have that as a memory, I think, of
You're not
trick or
sure.
treating. Now, granted, when I say a snowstorm, it was probably like a light dusting of snow.
Yeah.
But I remember it distinctly snowing on Halloween one year.
Maybe.
Remember junior year when we got so much snow that we ran out of snow days and we literally had to go to school until the end of June?
Yeah.
That sucked.
Remember how pissed we were that we were like, damn, this could have happened next year?
Right.
We wouldn't have had
Oh
to make up
yeah,
those
we would
snow
have been
days.
great. Yeah,
Our
because
same
we
year,
would have
there-
gotten
there
out
was,
like
like-
a month earlier.
There was like floods 3 times that year as well. That was just
Oh.
a crazy year for weather.
Oh, screw flooding around here, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
I remember there was 3 different times where it was announced like, yeah, some of the buses are late because of the flooding. It's like, how does this keep
Or-
happening?
Or dude, around here we have flood days. We had days when like literally you couldn't get to most of the city couldn't get to school because of flooding.
Dustin, do you remember the day that I called you while I was on the bus? You were waiting at the bus stop, and I called you and said, "Hey, don't bother waiting. School just got canceled." And you said, "You're joking. You did not believe me."
I think I do remember that.
Dude, you did not believe me. I was on the bus map. So, for reference, my bus in our city was I was the first bus stop for my bus, and we were the earliest bus in the city. So I was the first bus stop in the entire city. I get on the bus, I sit at the front of the bus,
Mm-hmm.
because I am too tired to walk to the back.
Of course. Of course.
And
With all the
I'm
rough scouts.
sitting there, and all of a sudden, I hear over the radio something along the lines of, "Oh, don't bother picking up the kids. They just canceled school." And I went, and it was a downpour, absolute downpour. And I immediately was like, "What?" And my bus driver just kind of glanced back at us. There's like, I don't know, 10 of us on the bus. And she just kind of was like, "Well, I have kids on my bus. What do I do with them?"
Take them to school.
And I literally had to tell her what to do.
Well,
I literally told her, I was like, "Well, I guess you just bring us back to the bus stop and we'll just get off and go home."
Yeah.
So I called Dustin, and I'm like, "Dustin, school just got canceled," and you're like, and I think your immediate reaction was, "Fuck off." I want to say you told me to fuck off.
Maybe. I don't remember my reaction at all. I do remember you having to call me. Tell
You
me school was
did
canceled.
not believe me until 8 minutes later, where you said, "I just heard from my mom. Sorry, I didn't believe you."
Dustin.
Huh.
Man, you don't understand. We got this. School was canceled at like 6:35.
Oh, gross.
Like, and keep in mind, the school day starts at 7.
That's when my bus would pick us up, was 6:35.
That's what I'm saying. My bus picked us up at 6:30.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. A little bit earlier.
So, like, it was like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, that was funny. I went home, and my mom was like, "What happened? Why are you?" And I was like, "They canceled school."
Like, you didn't hear? They canceled school.
And she was like, "Oh, interesting." But yeah, it was, I think, because of the potential flooding, and B, do you really want all those high schoolers driving in that shit?
Right.
You really don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
There is a street right near where I live, that floods at the slightest rain.
Mhm.
And honestly, it's like, and a lot of places, especially a lot of places around me, and when it rains, they flood so much. It's like people from my part of this city are just not going to get to school. Like we're basically just locked off from the rest of the city if it floods. Because we just have a lot of we built an entire city on some rivers, and now they flood for some reason. Like, we're not going to school.
Yeah, I
they
wonder
might-
why it floods.
Yeah, so most of the people are just like, well, and I think the people who are like call the days are like, well, we can't just like, you can't just say like, okay, this part of the city doesn't have to go to school. And then, but y'all who live real close to the school, you're getting your days in. Like they can't do that.
Yeah, you can't really do that.
No,
So-
not at all.
So they just had to cancel because of rain.
Hmm
And I'm like, yo, I mean,
there have been years, I'm pretty sure, we have had more days canceled due to rain than snow.
100%.
Probably, yeah.
I can't imagine living in the states that like half it like
Droughts.
not like a drought, but like half of it like quarter inch of snow starts causing like traffic stops and
Right.
wrecks.
Well, it's
Like
kind of like it's the equivalent of if a tornado hit us.
We don't get
We don't do tornado drills at all.
Yo, shout out
We
to-
are not built to handle tornadoes. If a tornado hit our city, it would be absolutely demolished.
Dude,
But tornadoes don't hit Massachusetts. It's
Yeah, but
very rare.
yeah, but Texas also doesn't freeze over. And that happened. You
I don't
know?
know. I don't know. I think it happened.
That's a scary thought, man.
Yeah, well, Texas is also stupid and on their own power grid, so.
You know what? Blaming the citizens of Texas, based as fuck.
Well, that's
Remember
not the
that-
citizens, that's the politicians.
Blaming the people of Texas. I agree 100%. They deserve it.
Remember when we got earthquakes?
What?
Remember when we got earthquakes here?
Like really little ones.
Yeah, they're like really little ones. I feel like it only happened in like a span of like a couple years.
I can tell
And
you
then we
this.
never got earthquakes again.
The tiny earthquakes that happened, A, were always at night, and B, I slept through every single one of them.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's
ever
how small they
experiencing one.
were.
I remember
Did you ever?
one of them
experience
happened in the middle of the day, and like my parents were coming. It's like, do you just feel that? I was like, what? It's like there was just an earthquake just now. I was like, huh? What? I somehow just missed the earthquake. Good.
For me specifically, I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building.
Mhm.
So if it gets windy, I feel my house shaking.
Yeah, that would.
Like because when you're I'm like, yeah, I'm really high up. So if it's like gets really windy, sometimes I start feeling like my like room shake a little bit.
Right.
So I probably at this point, living here my whole life, I probably just passed it off as that. I was like, oh yeah, that happens.
I remember the first earthquake that I witnessed. I was just in my computer room, and in another room, my grandparents were watching The Voice because they watched that a lot, and for whatever
Nice.
reason, they always have to have it at absolute maximum volume. Super
Well,
fun
of
when I
course.
was
How
living with
else are you
them.
going to hear their voice?
Exactly.
You gotta hear the super poorly compressed vocals that go from the show through the TV.
I remember when the earthquake happened. I was getting really annoyed. I was like, "Are you kidding me? You have the volume so loud, you're shaking the damn house." It wasn't until like
That's funny.
after like 5 seconds, the shaking was still happening. It's like, okay, now it doesn't. Now this. Wait a second.
All right,
Wait,
now
what's
I'm
happening right
actually
now?
a little concerned.
And I walked in the house like, "Did you guys feel that shaking?" They're like, "I think that was an earthquake."
Hmm?
I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess." my
Dude,
anger was misplaced.
people from California are fuming right now. If anyone's listening from California, I am so sorry.
I'll go to California real quick so I can be someone listening from California because
And then they're
that's
like
the best chance we got right now.
like having a that's the best chance we got right now. But like, they got earthquakes, bro.
Yeah.
They got earthquakes.
We
They
get
got-
things that sometimes knock over our trash bins.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I was in voice call with someone from California when they were hit by an earthquake once.
Dang.
Dude, they'll get big earthquakes and they'll be like, yeah, it happens. It's like, dude, your city shakes. Your state,
That's
your,
not normal.
your state vibrates, dude. You have a vibrator on the highest setting out there. What are you talking about? It's okay. But then our state just becomes part of the ocean for a while, and we're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, no, like
Like,
earthquakes for them are as normal as blizzards and flash floods are for us.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is everywhere has different natural disasters they deal
Yeah,
with.
sometimes the
California,
wind.
it's earthquakes and forest fires. For us, it is
Nor'easters and floodings.
nor'easters, floodings, and the occasional hurricane.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes the wind just takes on a physical form and gets really angry in some places.
Not to jinx us, but I feel like we're due for a new hurricane.
Please change that to a blizzard. Yeah.
I hope that was enough.
Anyway, it's like,
Yeah,
I
oh,
was knocking on wood.
who's that at the door?
No, I don't.
It's Shane. Welcome
I think-
to the podcast.
I think the last hurricane that hit us was like Sandy, right?
Probably, yeah.
And that was
Yo.
like 8 to 9 years ago now.
Yo, like SpongeBob?
Bringing it back around.
Like SpongeBob?
Bringing it around town.
Bring it around town. You know how to make a podcast? First you do this, and then this, and you do this.
Freeze! Alright. Now gently ease towards the end. No, the end. The end.
No, the end.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
The end of the
The end.
podcast.
The
The end. The end. This is where you end it. This is where you cut the clip.